Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Community Services and Development. Minister, emergency relief organisations like St Vincent's de Paul, the Salvation Army, City Mission, Loaves and Fishes and many, many more are stretched beyond their limits. They have more and more people seeking help who are crumbling under the cost of living pressures. They tell me that their emergency food reserves are exhausted, blankets and clothing stocks are running low, and workers and volunteers are at their wit's end. Minister, my question is simple. What will you do to ensure that these organisations have enough food, blankets, personal hygiene products, towels, medical supplies and pet food to assist those Tasmanians who are doing it incredibly tough?
Honourable Minister.
Yeah. Is that correct? That's correct.
Mr Speaker, I thank the honourable member for her question and acknowledge that cost of living pressures are rising in Tasmania and that there is pressure on community services organisations to provide the services they want to provide.
He's been called into line overnight.
His speech might have got to 11 minutes.
So you're not interested in the answer?
Yeah, absolutely.
Order.
Mr Speaker, we've done a number of things to deal with the cost of living pressures since we came into government, some of which I detailed yesterday in response to the stunt motion that Labor put up in their private members' time.
Wow. How ridiculous.
In last year's budget alone, $1.3 million in COVID-19 support for long-term food security for Tasmanians, $1.3 million for temporary visa holders, $351,000 to Volunteering Tasmania, $250,000 to support the medical health of frontline volunteers, including fire services and paramedics, and $350,000 to TasCost to assist the community sector to adapt and respond to COVID-19. Mr Speaker, $4.3 million across 2018 to 2021 to support Tasmanians in need, including for food security measures and action to address the cost of living pressures. As I said, $1.4 million for emergency food relief during COVID-19. We've provided $1.8 million over 3 years in increased funding for Food Bank Loaves and Fishes and Tasmania's mobile food van since 2018. $1.2 million to Code Tasmania to support their services as well. We're very proud, Mr Speaker, of the support that we're providing to the community sector, and as I said again yesterday afternoon, at the 2021 election we included $3 million for emergency food relief providers for the next 3 years as well. This includes increases in base funding for our critical food distributors, Loaves and Fishes Tasmania and Food Bank Tasmania, and for the essential services of Grains Van, Louis Van and Mission Beat.
Well done.
Mr Speaker, the Tasmanian Liberal Government is proud of its strong record of funding support for Loaves and Fishes, and as I detailed yesterday afternoon as well, we've provided support to St Vincent de Paul and the Salvation Army for their COVID care packages to support people who've had to isolate during COVID, either as a close contact, or as somebody who's contracted it. We will continue, Mr Speaker, as a government to support these community organisations going forward. I meet with all of these peak organisations on a regular basis, and we will continue to work hard with them to make sure that they get the support that they need to provide the services that we know Tasmanians in need require.
That's right.
Here.